Assalamualaikum to Associate Prof. Dr. Hajah Noraiza Binti Awang, our beloved lecturer of Far658 Zakat Accounting. So today my group will be present on case study of survey on 10 Amils appointed by PUSAT Zakat. Before that, let me introduce our group members.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Amira Nasihah Binti Nazili.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurshafina Binti Abdul Hamid.
Hi, my name is Eyza Nurqasrina Binti Zaidi.
Zakat is one of the most important in Islam's pillar that literally means to grow, purification and increase. In Lisan al-Arab, it said the root of the word zakat in Arabic means cleanliness, growth, blessing and praise. All these meanings of the word are used in Quran and Hadith. It is an act of the acknowledging that everything we have belongs to Allah and part of our wealth does not belong to us. Zakat is rather a social welfare institution supervised by the state and organized tax administered by an autonomous public organization. The state's role in the collection and distribution of zakat is best supported by the verse that mentions the workers on zakat as one of the categories to whom zakat is distributed. In addition to Quran and Sunnah, the assertion that the Islamic State is responsible for collection and distribution of zakat is supported by the actual practice of the Prophet and the wise successor after him. Ibn Hajar in Al-Tahis notes that the fact that the messengers of God and his successors sent zakah collectors is quite famous. Al-Bukhari and Muslim report from Abu Hurairah that the Prophet sent Umar as the collectors of zakat in the area.
Okay, next I will proceed to problem statement. Every year, there will be situation where zakat collector and distribution lost the zakat payers in some place or the small percentage only society that pay zakat in certain place. Based on some case study, this issue is because of the society's awareness about the importance of paying zakat. Most of them are not aware the type of zakat, as zakat does not just refer to zakat fitrah only. Besides, the lost payer of zakat in certain place is because of lack of knowledge and timing of paying zakat. There are few cases which involve Amil as a collector and distribution of zakat, where the zakat amount was being corrupted and being used as their personal expenses. This shows that they lack of knowledge and doesn't aware the responsibility have been assigned to them as zakat collector. Besides, this can lead to the breach of trust, where can affect society trust towards zakat collector or zakat institution. Hence, zakat institution will be questioned and have a bad perception of among society. In terms of localization, there are some cases where asnaf was unintentionally being missed out to get zakat as they are qualified but the location or place is not being discovered. Okay, basically we have three objectives of this study, which are: first, to determine the level of society's awareness from Amil perspective; second, to identify the roles of Amil in zakat collection and zakat distribution; and the last one is to evaluate localization of zakat distribution.
Zakat is one of the foundations of the Islamic religion that must be cultivated by any Muslim who has reached at the breaking point, which means nisab. There are 8 set of groups of zakat recipients or mustahiq in Islam. Among this group are the collectors and the distributor of zakat called amil. Zakat in books of fiqh is a term from the Arabic word amila ya'malu, which signifies work. Amil and then read as working individuals. Amil is characterized as people who gather and look for zakat and the one who's also distributed it. Al-Suyuti states that the individuals who perform the duties of zakat thus go from noble purposes to the treasurer and gatekeeper, just as they record to compute zakat and distribute it to the mustahiq. The meaning of amil has been described in the hadith. Abu Sa'id al-Khudri radhiyallahu anha portrayed that The Prophet ﷺ stated, "It isn't legal if alms given to the rich except they are becoming the administrator or purchased from needy individuals or battle in Allah or given a blessing by a poor who got the part alms." Muhammad Hasbi Zainal, in his article Principle of Amil Zakat and Best Recommendations for Zakat Institutions, examined in detail of the idea of Amil. He clarified not just the role, duty and responsibility of Amil, yet in addition the rights of Amil. The author presumed that the role of Amil was not as an individual duty. It was still a collective governance in management of zakat. Great corporate administration will improve and enable the collection and distribution of zakat. Based on the study stated by Mozef Kaf, in the performance of the institution of zakat in theory and practice, it is clarified that Amil was assigned by the government to collect and distribute zakat fund in the society. The organization and the management of zakat at that time became efficient due to the decent performance and services provided by assigned Amils. Amil not just has an obligation to supervise zakat funds adequately, yet in addition has essential duty which all are identified with the management of zakat funds, running from tallying the quantity of properties and the amount of zakat, getting it, carrying it out to evaluate the poverty minimum levels, and guaranteeing mustahik to get zakat fund. In this survey of zakat, there are at least 3 viewpoints that should be clarified in detail, which are society's awareness from Amil view, roles of Amil, and a localization of zakat distribution. First, it is to determine the level of society's awareness from Amil perspective. The awareness of the payer for the kind of zakat they must pay is a part of the level of understanding. In Malaysia, there are various types of zakat, for example, zakat al-fitri, zakat on business, zakat on income, and so forth. There is amount of that zakat that people used to pay, but there are many other types that they must know and commit to pay. Attitude to pay zakat is related with the individual belief about the personal impact of the outcomes. Based on the research by Nurul, she has expressed that payer's intention to pay zakat is affected by his attitude towards the attributes inherent in zakat paying, by the impact of others nearest to him, and also by his perception of the behavioral control that can both be promoting and hindering factor in paying zakat. Also, the low-level awareness of zakat payers about the specific of zakat requirements can be understood by educating zakat payers. The need of information about the roles and function of zakat institution can be boosted by strengthening socialization about zakat institution. Zakat institution should adopt progressively proactive and creative strategies to make them known by wider zakat payers. Educating zakat payers and socializing the presence of zakat institutions not simply will enhance zakat awareness of zakat payers, but also can increasingly change the tradition applied around society. Zakat institution additionally can work on improving public trust through producing high integrity and strengthens capacity to oversee and empower zakat fund. There is not much that can be achieved in relation to the impact of level of income, as this factor relates to the economy as a whole and the capacity of zakat institution to guarantee that there is no misallocation of zakat fund. Next is to identify the roles of Amil in zakat collection and zakat distribution. In general, Amil has 2 significant roles, which are collecting and distributing. With regard of this task, Amil sure requires a knowledge of Islamic law and skills on the zakat management, since they are the takers of zakat and furthermore the gatekeepers. Khalifah Umar ibn al-Khattab at first expressing some requirement factors for Amil like collecting, distributing, and avoiding the misuse of zakat fund. Refer to Sahal Mahfuz. Amil must be a skilled labor, dedicated, honest, trustworthy and able to control the issues related with zakat, such as issues identified with muzaki, nisab, haul and mustahil. For Didin Hafizuddin, it requires Amil to have a sufficient understanding about zakat law properly, a capacity to carry out the task given, and the full-time work to fulfill his duties. In addition, Amil ought to effectively promote zakat, organize it, then distribute it to the mustahil. Al-Qardawi stated that Amil has various tasks of jobs that are related to zakat regulations. Some of them are the census regarding muzaki, as well as the details of mustahik who receive zakat fund. For instance, what number of zakat funds to be allocated and can be given to the mustahik. Amil zakat is also obligated to pray for muzaki whenever they give their zakat through Amil, to differentiate them with the non-Muslim who pay jizyah and to execute the orders of Allah. Final objective of the case study is to evaluate the localization of zakat distribution. In research conducted by Laila Abdul Latif emphasized about the weakness in managing zakat. The zakat collection issues in Middle East countries such as Kuwait, Sudan, Pakistan and so forth expresses that the situation caused issue about zakat in those countries was ineffective and inefficient administrative law of zakat collection by state, and lack of coherence in the state's legal philosophy of zakat. Most of the content in the researches was discussing about zakat organization manage and handle zakat by collecting and distribute them. Almost all the problem state has connection with the weaknesses of the state's authority to manage zakat. However, Malaysian localization can create an efficient and effective distribution. Numerous findings concurred that decentralization to local government may decrease the disparity or inequalities and descent among districts and territories based on studies by Krug, Manner and Hankla. The local authority could provide quality governance when it efficiently and reliably offers people with the public goods and services that they need. This indicates that, in the perspective of this study, the Amil or Zakat officer could identify the local needs particularly needed by the poor and the needy to enhance their life. Amil could be Imam of mosque, government, or private office staff or other officer chosen to do such obligation. This is an exceptionally close collaboration between the Islamic Council of the state and the separate state government, as appeared by the way that the managerial of the board is given by the Islamic Department of the separate state.
Okay, I will explain to you about methodology. Methodology is a systematic, theoretical analysis of the methods applied to a field of study. It is a theoretical analysis of the body of methods and principles associated with a branch of knowledge. Typically, it encompasses concepts such as paradigm, theoretical model, phases, and quantitative or qualitative techniques. It is the theoretical underpinning for understanding which method, set of methods, or best practices can be applied to a specific case. Okay, next we move to the methodology of this study. The methodologies applied is quantitative, in which it is field study that use survey method to be distributed to 10 selected samples of Amil stated in Selangor. The survey will be in terms of questionnaire and Google form will be used to make it easier and time-saving to collect the data. The primary data is obtained from the conducted survey since it is directly answered by the samples, thus it becomes the first-hand data. The secondary data that were obtained from documentation research refers to reading material in relation to zakat, articles related, and zakat institutions report. The data obtained from the sources stated will be reviewed and used as guidelines for the construction of this report. As this section related to the objective of the study that stated before, we will be presenting qualitative data into suitable graphical tools.
Okay, now let's move to findings where we already divide it into 5 categories. The first one is demographic data. The second is knowledge in zakat. The third one is zakat collectors' perspective. And the fourth is distribution of zakat. And the last one is surplus of zakat. So let's go through one by one. Demographic data is a conclusion from the observation that we made during the whole case study in order to assess the information from the interviewee. The information obtained from the respondents are about their position, state, and age. Most of the zakat collectors, which is 70% of them, are positioned as Amil. 1% is executive operation distribution of area. 1% is assistant head Amil Karya. 1% is assistant Amil Karya. And to be noted that all of Amil is from random area, and most of them are Amil represent masjid or Karya from their area. Besides, the age of the respondents mostly is 46 years above, and the balance of 60% are equally among 25 to 30 years old, 31 to 40 years old, and 41 to 45 years old. Okay, the second one is knowledge of respondents in zakat. As a zakat collector, it is important and necessary for them to understand and have a knowledge on zakat regulations. Zakat regulation is where zakat restriction imposed for zakat collector to follow and apply so that there will be no unpleasant things or situation happen which might give impact on the zakat institutional or zakat center. The level of knowledge in zakat rules, regulations, and level of knowledge, which is general in zakat among respondents, have same result, which are 80% of them is understand 80% to 100%, and 20% of them is 60% to 79% knowledge in zakat. Okay, next, in order to achieve the objective of the level of society's awareness from Amil perspective, we prepare a survey which are common timing, zakat payment of zakat payers, and level of consciousness of zakat payers. The common timing zakat payment of zakat payer chosen by the 90% of the respondents is in the middle of Ramadan, and 70% of respondents choose at the end of Ramadan, and 30% of the respondents choose beginning of Ramadan, and 40% of them choose before performing Eid Fitr Salat. So next, this question is referred to Amil perspective during on their duty to observe the public, either they conscious or not their responsibility to pay zakat as a Muslim. So the level knowledge and consciousness of zakat payers in Amil perspective is that 80% of Amil choose between 80% to 100%, and the balance is rare case where it does not happen often, and might be as one in cases where payer of zakat does not know their responsibility and not aware to pay zakat fitrah. So the balance percentage is a very rare case and not very often happen. Okay, for the next category, where the distribution of zakat is normally in terms of money, goods, and other benefits, and mostly of the estimation of number zakat recipients of zakat distribution is said to be more than 41 people, more than 50 people, and based on what we can add is that most of the Amil that appointed by zakat or higher authority just perform their duty as Amil to collect the money from zakat payers, and they will transfer the money to the zakat center. But then zakat center will distribute the zakat collection to the zakat recipient. Okay, next is whether there is surplus of zakat. Okay, from the respondents' record, 90% of the respondents said there is no surplus zakat collection from the area after the distribution. There is no surplus of zakat that available after distribution of zakat. Respondents said that zakat is always insufficient for distribution. It does not enough and it will be never enough. So because there is many asnaf out there still need, so there will be no and insufficient zakat.
Finally, we are reaching to the end of this presentation as I will present to you the conclusion that we get from this study. An authorized body who manage zakat called State Islamic Religious Councils that works independently to ensure the zakat administration and management become efficient and effective. The main obligation of an Amil is to properly manage the zakat funds and organize it based on the zakat rules. Lot of improvement in terms of efficiency and effectiveness, but still not a comfort zone as a lot of issues raised about the distribution of zakat and mislead of zakat fund. They must alert with issues that they encountered. The establishment of zakat collection makes a significant increase on the amount of zakat collection. Despite the increasing collection of zakat, it's still low if compared to the population of the Muslim in each state. Zakat payers still have low awareness in paying zakat through Amil. There are factors which are important and which have given satisfaction to zakat payers, and PUSAT Zakat Selangor must maintain these issues in order to keep the positive awareness of zakat payers. It is a future challenge of PUSAT Zakat Selangor to provide more attractive promotion for zakat payers. In general, zakat payers are satisfied with the performance of PUSAT Zakat Selangor, but they still need to focus on the attributes to improve its performance so that the awareness of zakat payer to pay zakat through Amil can be increased. Next, in terms of zakat management, localization was implemented by forming the local committees in the villages, distributed closely to the zakat recipients, especially the poor and needy group and other zakat recipients that could be recognized. This boosts the confidence to pay zakat through zakat institution, and the zakat collection will be increased. It also will give a huge benefit to the zakat recipients in the future. Hopefully, this study will help the zakat system in Malaysia to progress and becomes a role model to other Muslim countries around the world.
Okay, that's all from us. Thank you.